True Story Media.
It's okay to want an abortion. Did you know 1 in 4 people who can get pregnant will have one? So it's actually more common than most people think. At Care FM, you can choose what type of abortion care works best for you. We have in-person locations with private entrances in Atlanta, Chicago, and the Washington, D.C. areas. And we also offer medically supported abortion pills by mail in 20 states. For some people, it's more comforting to come into a private office where they can sit with one of our medical providers and either leave no longer pregnant or with abortion pills in hand. For others, they prefer to get abortion pills through the mail so they can decide the best time and place to complete the process. Getting abortion pills by mail from CareFM is simple. Fill out an online form, and a licensed provider will review your medical history. And if eligible, your medication will be shipped to you in a couple of days. Kara, our text-based abortion companion, will guide you through the process from start to finish with instructions, reminders, and answers to all your questions whenever they come up 24/7. With either choice, please know CareFM will support you every step of the way. Learn more at carefm.org.
Hey guys, it's me, Javier. I hope all of you, especially my U.S. listeners, had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you spent it with some family and friends. Today, I want to play you a bonus episode. The first story is from Allie. Allie is a longtime Patreon supporter, and when she listened to the Cancer Sympathy Machine, she wrote to me, and honestly, I was just like, we need to get on the phone and record this conversation because it was exactly what my guest Bill Petridge was talking about. And then I have a few listener voicemails that I'm going to play right after my interview with Allie. The first one is from Lauren and then Kamali. So I hope you enjoy this bonus episode. If you have a story that you want to share, just send it my way at javier@pretendradio.org. Okay, enjoy the rest of the weekend. We'll be back soon with part 3 of the Cancer Sympathy Machine. It is available right now on Patreon. So I'm here with Allie from Patreon. Allie has been one of my biggest supporters for, it feels like a long time, right? I don't know,
years.
Months or years,
Yeah.
Allie. So, and we've been chatting offline on Patreon because, you know, Allie's always has something interesting to say about the stories that I produce. And most recently, Allie wrote to me and with a really powerful email. And I was just like, Allie, we should get on a call and talk about this because I think the listeners would find it fascinating. So thank you for coming on this bonus episode.
Yeah, it was great. I was at the gym this morning and there's an email from Javier and I'm like, this can't be for me. This must just be for everybody. And it was literally for me. I was so excited.
For you, yeah. Well, tell me about the email that you sent me because, you know, in the cancer, what am I calling it? The Cancer Sympathy Machine series.
Yeah.
Bill Petridge lays out this hypothetical example of like, he lays out all the reasons why somebody would fake cancer. One of the reasons was that sometimes people would fake cancer in order to mask a different disease or something else. And we were talking about it very high level, very hypothetically, but you wrote to me and you gave me a real world example and it was really interesting. I'll let you tell me.
Yeah, it hit me really hard because this is something that I've had and felt honestly guilty for many years. So in 2000, I was a IV drug addict for about 13 years from when I was a teenager into my late 20s, early 30s. And I found out that I had hepatitis C as a result. In 2012, I got treated for that with the old treatment for Hep C was interferon and ribavirin. And it's an extremely difficult treatment. They don't do it anymore. Now it's a lot more safe and it's a lot less dangerous. And actually the treatment from that I did made my 4 front teeth fall out and my hair fall out. It was really, really intense. And I was one of the first people on the island of Maui to complete this really intense treatment. And I looked really, really sick and I felt really, really sick. And people would ask me, like when my hair was falling out, what was happening to me. And I initially I had told people, you know, I'm getting treated for Hep C, and the reaction to that was so negative. People were repelled and repulsed by the Hep C diagnosis. And I will say right now, I'm completely undetectable and non-transmittable. I have no traces of Hep C left in me, but it's still something that's really difficult to talk about because I'm a nurse. And I know that even healthcare workers, the way they react to people with HIV and Hep C is sometimes not professional, honestly.
So it was almost easier, right, to say that it was cancer.
Well, I never said I had cancer. Well, I might have, I almost can't remember, but I do remember I specifically told people I'm going through radiation therapy, which was like the least lie of a lie that I could say because my doctor said, this is like radiation therapy. This is how intense this treatment is. So I would tell people I'm going through radiation therapy. And it was really that thing in my head that was like, oh my God, I'm like making people think that I have cancer, even though I have Hep C. And it made me feel pretty gross. But it was better than the reactions that I got from people when I told them that I was being treated for Hep C.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, and it sounds like you've been through quite a journey, right? And once that happened, I mean, like now you're clean, you have this profession, you know, you're in the nursing field, but like, how was that transition for you after your Hep C diagnosis?
Going into nursing?
Well, I mean, just like getting out of, were you still addicted to drugs at the time, or?
No, I was clean when I went through my treatment. They don't let you have to be clean for a year to qualify for that treatment. It's so expensive. Insurance won't cover it. So I was clean and then I started using again, unfortunately. I did get clean for good in 2015 and I've never, but luckily when I started using again, I was really, really careful about using clean needles and stuff because I was like, I don't want to get that thing again. Luckily, obviously, I've been treated. Like I said, I'm totally undetectable. And the reason why I became a nurse is because of the horrible treatment I got as a drug addict from the healthcare system. It was appalling most of the time. The treatment that I received was really biased and really awful. And it has affected a lot the way I care for my patients, not only my Hep C diagnosis, but my, having been a drug addict.
Yeah. Yeah. Just your bedside manners, just being on the other side of things, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that I get a little bit pissy when I hear providers talking poorly about, an addicted patient or somebody that's got HIV and I have heard, providers say things that I don't love about patients with Hep C. It ruffles my feathers, but
as a fan of true crime, and obviously you like the concept of my show, which is like people pretending to be someone else. What was your reaction to that series? Not just for like your example, but people who fake cancer in general.
So your series led me to binge Elizabeth. And I started and I almost couldn't listen to it. I was so furious because I've had like true DV&SA, like true horrific DV&SA, and hearing people lie and fake.
What is that?
Domestic violence and sexual assault. I didn't know if I could say it.
I had no idea. Yeah.
I didn't know if I could say it.
I was like nodding my head, but I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Sorry. Yeah. When I hear people faking domestic violence and sexual assault for their own gain or to harm others, oh man. Oh, it really makes me angry because not only does it remove it takes away from everybody that's actually a true survivor, and it makes people question like if you're real, and it's just disgusting.
Yeah, like this whole thing, it makes you question when people say they have cancer. It makes you question when people are DV victims. Yeah. And, and what I've found while working on the series is that they're not, like, the main course is not just faking cancer. It's like, that's just a feature of like a bunch of other things that they're doing, right? Like, and it's rarely just the faking cancer, and it's rarely just a money-making scheme. It's everything. They create characters, they create doctors, they fabricate emails. They're just doing all kinds of wild things. It's just a subset of this like almost like Munchausen, where they just want attention.
It's insane.
They're going to get it any way they can. Right?
But I have to tell you, it did hit me really hard when he used that specific example about people saying they have cancer when it's really something else, because I was at the gym working out, and it hit me when I listened to that, and it brought all those feelings back that I used to feel, the shame
Yeah.
of admitting that I had Hep C, because not only now people knew I had this communicable disease, they assumed, well, it's either from drugs or from unprotected sex. Like, they not only do they know what you have, they know how you got it. And it's just a
Right.
spiral of judgment. And while I feel still to this day some type of way about having told people I was going through, radiation, cancer, chemotherapy, whatever, I also understand why I did it, and I don't hate myself for it. But it is a lot of shame. I have a lot of shame about my past that I work through, like in so many multiple different levels. When
Yeah.
you've been a drug addict for 13 years, and I was a prostitute. Like, I did all kinds. I was homeless. So when you get out of that life, it's just a constant state of working through your shame of everything.
Right.
And things will hit me differently. And I listen to your podcast, a lot of times I'll be like, whoa, oh, that hit me different.
Yeah. Well, and I know and just to put it out there, like, it's almost unfair to put your story in the same bucket as a Bell Gibson or a Scamanda, because it's like literally not the same thing, right? Like, you were making people, like, you were trying to make your situation a little bit more socially acceptable. Right?
Totally socially acceptable.
They're trying to pull a fast one on people. But so, while I have you on, because you're such a big Patreon supporter, like, describe to people who are not on Patreon, like, what a cool community this is.
It's
Because I
great.
try to tell people, but I don't think they
I've actually
understand.
made some. I've actually made some people where we actually like Facebook message off of Patreon, and we've like become friends on Facebook. But the community is like very, I don't want to say niche, because I don't want people to think they can't get in, but it's great because it's almost like we're all super into this type of show, and it's not so huge that it's just a bunch of trolls in there.
No,
There's
like,
not.
we're just talking, yeah.
It's just everybody talking about the podcast and like putting in their 2 cents. It's funny a lot of times. And honestly, the thing I like the most about well, not the most, the thing I really love is when you do the lives, and we're all
I love that too.
Javier will do the lives, and we'll all be like watching the live, and we'll all be
Reacting
commenting
to the episode. Yeah.
It's fun. It's really
It's
great.
fun for me, like, because I create the thing, but just to hear like real time feedback, and there are moments where I put some comedic moments there just to keep things light and just to like experience that together, or like a big twist, like if a twist is coming, and seeing everybody's reaction in real time. It's a lot of fun.
It is fun, and if you're super online and crazy, we have a pretty fun LaDonna Reddit page that we're pretty on. During the LaDonna period of pretend, we were very active on the LaDonna.
Right, very active. It's kind of quieted down a little bit, and I mean, it's just a cool community of people that like the same stuff. So that's awesome. I'm just so glad that we finally got an opportunity to talk. And
me too.
And we should definitely do this again somehow. Like,
hey, you know how to get a hold of me, and if you email me between 3 in the morning and 8 in the morning Alaska time, I will get right back to you.
That is so funny. Yeah. Well, I emailed you this morning thinking there's no way we're going to make this happen, and sure enough, we did. So
6 hours later.
Yeah. Well, Allie, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And thank you. I do appreciate the things that you do on the show. It's awesome.
At CareFM, you can choose the abortion care that works best for you. With in-person visits in Atlanta, Chicago, and the D.C. area, or medically supported abortion pills by mail in 20 states. Some people feel more comfortable meeting with a provider in person and leaving either no longer pregnant or with pills in hand. Others prefer getting abortion pills by mail. Just fill out a short online form, and if eligible, your medication arrives in a few days in a plain package. When you choose abortion pills, Cara, our text-based abortion companion, is with you every step of the way, offering 24/7 support and answers whenever you need them. However you get care, CareFM will support you every step of the way. Learn more at carefm.org.
Hi, Javier. My name is Lauren. I'm a 35-year-old living in the Midwest. I have a story regarding your faking cancer episode, and it involves my husband and I. So I ended up getting married to my college boyfriend, but at the time we were newly dating our freshman year. And on his dorm, there was a girl who clearly had a thing for him. And we obviously did not get along. She always seemed to rub me the wrong way. And she was always seeking attention from my now husband. So her name had been one of a very common top 10 baby names of 1990. And she decided to rename herself with this very unique name. So that was kind of interesting. And then just kind of reinventing herself as she transitioned to college. So after maybe a month or so of, the school year starting, she decided to share with my husband that she had, quote, brain cancer, unquote. Never gave any more details, but she did produce some imaging, which was not like of medical caliber. There was no, identifying information of the hospital, her name, date of birth, all those things that would have shown up on any kind of scanning equipment or the discs that they send you home with the hospital at that time. And I thought to myself, I think this is fake, but I didn't want to say that out loud to anyone because I didn't want to seem like I was, this mean girl or feeling jealous or something. And so I kept it to myself, my roommates at the time, and her stories just continued to escalate in their drama and details, and the whole time I just kept thinking, I don't think none of this sounds real. And then what kind of pushed me over the edge where I decided I no longer want to interact with this girl on any level was she started to add in details about her childhood and how her mother was depressed and always wanting to commit suicide. And my husband said to me, "Isn't that so terrible?" And I thought, yeah, it is terrible and for somebody to take that story and use it in a way to gain attention from a dude just made me not want to interact with her anymore. And a few years later, it post college, it did all come out in the wash. Turns out she never had brain cancer. She did fabricate all of these things. And I just find it disgusting that somebody would use these really tragic and really tough events to gain someone's attention, especially a guy. I mean, ugh.
Hello, Javier. This is Kamali Chandler from New York City, New York. And I'm listening to your most recent episode about faking cancer. And coincidentally, today, November 19th, when I'm listening, is the 6-year anniversary of my surgery for stage 3C ovarian cancer. That was in 2019. I started chemo on December 16, 2019, and about 3 infusions in, which would have been just before the new year, I received a phone call from one of my best friends. I considered her to be like a sister. She called me and swore me to secrecy to tell me that she had been diagnosed with cancer. I will be very honest, just knowing the personality, I suspected that something was amiss, but I was weak. I was 3 infusions in and just really didn't have the wherewithal to try and ask too many questions. Of course, when we were into the new year, January, February 2020, and I was asking questions about where she was being treated, what kind of cancer she had, et cetera, et cetera. When you have cancer, you almost become a bit of a doctor yourself, and you become pretty skilled in how things are done, what the process is for chemotherapy, radiation, etc. Things, of course, were not aligning, and I called her out on a group WhatsApp, which just included me, her, and the third person who was part of our friend group. Anyway, I did forgive her. Again, I understand the person, but ultimately she did a few more things, not like this, that just led me to understand that I needed to end the relationship or the friendship for good. I still wish her well. I love her, and we had a lot of wonderful memories, and we have a lot of wonderful memories together, but it is what it is. She is out of my life, and she's doing very well. And I hope for her sake that she is never, ever diagnosed with cancer or any serious medical condition, because it is life-altering in every single way and not always for the best. Anyway, I am 5 years out from chemotherapy. I am still healthy, and so far I've beat a lot of the odds. I had a 39% 5-year survival rate, and I still live with the fact that I have an 80 to 90% chance of getting this cancer again. It's ovarian cancer, which tends to be very aggressive, but this is life. Anyway, thank you for all the work that you're doing, and I love your podcast.